So I'm gonna try to have this conversation. I'm gonna try to have this conversation as respectfully as I can. But I've got to have this conversation. So, um, today I did a video and I was talking about my frustration from not from like just realizing that girl, that's it for our that's it for our bond. That's it for our relationship. And I was talking to another one of my elders and they said reverence no man. They was telling me that the Bible was like reverence no man, and like how preachers literally put reverend in front of their name, but you're not supposed to reverence any man. You're not supposed to reverence any human, like put them on a pedestal like that. And I don't know, I guess I had just put this person on too high a pedestal. And I think it all goes back to the reality that to some beings who were born with vaginas, I will always be the court gesture, the comic relief, the good Judy, the it's gonna always be the secretly you want to be me energy, you know, and I'm trying not to get emotional. I'm trying not to get upset. But it's like when you feel used, like when you feel like a person has used you, like you tried so hard to prove yourself to them, to prove your loyalty to them, and then when they treat you like you're less than, this is why a lot of trans women and beings who were born with vaginas, this why there will always be a divide. This is why we will never be able to come together, because some beings who were born with vaginas, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it's some beings who were born with vaginas and secretly they're mad at everything that has a penis. They don't care if you used to have it and you got rid of it, but everything that has a penis, they have a grudge against it. Everything that have a penis, everything that ever had a penis. And it's amazing to me how some of y'all could give birth to beings y'all can't stand. And still and patriarchy is so complicated. Patriarchy is a complex thing that I really don't think that we have begun to fully unpack, because we look at patriarchy just from this perspective of the men are in charge, the men are in control, the men are controlling things. But if we really, 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 really unpack patriarchy and unpack why patriarchy got to be what it got to be, is because there is a sector of beings who are born with vaginas, and also a sector of beings who live like beings that are considered women or who live as women. There's a sector of beings who live as women. There's a sector of beings who were born with vaginas and live as women. And these beings want those men to go out there and protect them in battle, bring home the resources, bring home. They want him to be the security guard. They want him to be the protector. They want him to go out there and put his life on the line every day. And then they going to blow smoke up his backside and tell him, you're a king. You're a great man. They're going to stroke his ego because his ego's so fragile anyway. Most men have very fragile egos. And this is how I know I'm whole. Because one thing, I could talk about what's going on with me. If something hurt me, if something bothered me, I'm going to talk about it. I'm not finna shell up and pretend like I'm okay. No, you hurt me. I feel away. I'm not finna try to pretend like I'm okay. So that's why I'm different. I'm built different. I'm whole. I ain't got no points to prove to none of y'all. If I feel played, I feel played. I don't have no points to prove to anybody. I don't owe anybody any. I ain't gotta pretend. If I'm hurting, if something make me feel away, y'all can say, oh, you're emotional, oh, you doing too much. A lot of y'all don't do enough. And that's what's wrong with society. A lot of y'all walking around here with all this pent up anger and you upset and you bothered and you got stuff you need to work on and you ain't working on it because you worried about what somebody else gonna think. No, I'm in my feelings. I feel away. I'm about to talk about it. I'm about to process it. I'm about to work through it. And like I said, it's a lot of beings who are born with vaginas that have a chip on their shoulder and they see beings who was born with penises as worker bees and workhorses. They see them as beneath them, and some of them sell this dream like, oh, you're a king, oh, you're a god. I guess so. If you gonna get out there and work and bring home your money to me, I guess so. If you gonna defend me with your life, I guess so. If you gonna take care of all these babies, I guess so. If you gonna get out there and do all of the warring and the protecting and the fighting, I guess he is a king and a god. I guess I would praise your name. It's hard not to focus on the negative. It's hard not to right now because I put so much faith, like in my community. I met a little girl the other day, a little trans girl, and she was talking about beings who was born with wombs, who identify as women, and she was calling them the cunts. And every time she would be like, yeah, cause the cunts. And I corrected this child. And I was like, don't talk like that about women because what if they said, oh, the dicks? What if they was like, oh the dicks, here come the dicks. Like what if they did that? Like don't don't acknowledge a being who was born with a womb and identifies with womanhood or cis woman. Don't identify them like that because that's mean to just call somebody the cunt. That's mean to reduce someone to their sexual parts. And that's a huge problem with society because a lot of beings who were born with wombs and identify as women really legit feel like that's the most valuable thing they have to offer society. Feel like that's the thing that's of greatest value. Okay, I can bring a baby here with this. Men will pay for this because they will pay for it. No matter what state it's in, they'll buy it. Baby, they'll buy a strawberry off the street. So they definitely gonna pay top dollar for some good old quality snatch. Oh yes. It just it just hurts me that I feel like a divide is growing, and it's like I'm not trying to make everybody gay. I'm not trying to make everybody trans. I'm not trying to make everybody non-binary. But I just think as long as we focusing on being divided and being so different from each other, we always gonna have problems when it regards coming together. Like, I think what hurt me the most was that this person is not able to take feedback from me. Like, this person is not able, like, this person in their mind wants to look at me as beneath them. You know, I got into it with a black woman on my on my TikTok page, and when she commented, she was like, this was very much the tone. She was like, I could teach you something. Like, you could learn something from me. And like, oh, you one of those trans people that don't want to learn, that don't want a woman to teach you. Like I'm a real woman and I'm trying to teach you and you don't want to learn. Like, what type of is that? To tell somebody I'm trying to teach you and you don't want to learn. I'm almost 50 years old. You think I need you to teach me how to be feminine, how to behave like my mother, how to behave like my grandmother, how to connect with my great great grandmothers? You think I need to learn that from you? And let me guess, what gives you the right to teach me is because you was born with a vagina. That's like saying being born with a vagina makes you automatically a mother. Everybody with a vagina is a mother and has the capacity to be a mother. Because it's one thing to give birth, it's another thing to be a mother. And I was looking at that narrative on, there's a TV show. What's the name of that TV show? House of Vicious. And Kane's mama, or whatever, I don't know if his name is Kane, but the lead character's boyfriend, the mama just came home from prison. And the auntie was talking to um the other mama, the auntie who's been raising the boy. She kept saying my son, and you're not gonna hurt my son, and you're gonna leave my, so the auntie kept calling him her son. Now mind you, the mama has been in jail the child whole life. The auntie literally have raised this boy. The auntie really have been there for him. And so the mama felt played, and the mama was like, that's my, she waited till the opposition walked off, and she pulled up to the side and said, that's my son. Don't ever get that confused. That's my son. And and you gonna learn that's my son. And I would have laughed at her and I would have said that's our son. Cause yeah, you opened the door. It came through you. You were the portal. That's true. But you did not raise him. It takes a village. We all connected. That's our son. Ask him. He'll tell you. That's our son. You was the door. You was the portal. Your direct DNA is a part of it. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna support you in that. You were the birther. You did carry the child. You did conceive, carry, and push and bring out. But that's pretty much all you did. All of that, what you did, that was important. But that raising, that rearing, that teaching, all that, that raising, that reach, that all that's important. And we're not gonna diminish that because you gave birth. This is why I don't have a problem with abortion. This is why I'm not against abortion. I am not against abortion because I feel like if the mother or the being that is carrying the child, because let's get it, let's be clear, it's not just women who carry babies. It is females. It is beings who have female DNA or female reproductive organs, but woman is the construct, female is the sexual anatomy, the sexual reproductive organs. And when they decide that they want to have an abortion, they're saying, I don't have the capacity to give this being the life that it deserves on this plane in this dimension. So I make the choice to free this energy. I make the choice to send this energy into another realm. I make the choice to transfer this energy on so that it can have a different life or a different experience. So I totally understand abortion, and I never think that it's easy for them. I never think it's easy for them. But you know the thing that I paid attention to them because every time, and this was the thing that this thing had bothered me for a long time. So, they say that Obama's wife is transgender. Joan Crawford had said, they was like, soon we may get our first, trans, so and so in the LGBT in the White House. And Joan Rivers was like, oh, we already have that. Joan Rivers was like, oh, we already have that. So Joan Rivers was saying that Michelle was allegedly Michael. Now, there's been a lot of conversations and things that have been said that have made that look like it could be serious, like this might actually have some truth in it, like this could actually be real, like maybe Michelle was actually Michael. There is proof that points to this. But the thing that has upset me about this person who was a mentor to me is that every time they would talk about Michelle, they would call Michelle Michael and they would call Michelle a man. So if you look at Obama's wife as a man and you see all of the people, like, cause she was always saying things like that. She was always saying, oh, cause they all men. Cause they all men. They all some transgenders. They all ain't none of them real women. Like she would say things like that. And it's like, okay, I understand that these are trans people. I understand that these beings were not born with vaginas, and these beings were not born with the capacity to be cisgender or to be um, the kind of woman you are. I understand that. Um, but can we respect them for what they are though? Like you don't have to say You don't have to say I'm a female. You don't have to say I'm 100% woman. You don't have to give me that. For me personally, you really don't because I'm non-binary. My pronouns are they them. I allow people to call me she because I know a lot of people are used to it. Just like sometimes I let people get away with calling me Tila, but it is not Tila, it's Kaneen. And so I don't get upset with people who don't see it for me. I don't get upset if you don't see me as a woman, you don't see me as she. But you're not gonna call me he though. You're not gonna call me he and be in my face. You could call me he or come up under my post and say, "Oh, you're a man," or "You're a he," but we're not finna to sit in the same space. We're not gonna sit in the same room, and you just gonna be repeatedly calling me he, and I'm just gonna be sitting there listening. Like we're not about to do that. And the reason why we are not about to do it because I have lived. I am 47 years old. I accepted who I was at the age of 14. So if you subtract 14 from 47, what do you get? You get 33. 33 years of my life, I have been embracing who I am. I have been embracing the mother that lives in me, the grandmother, the great grandmother, the father that lives in me, the grandfather, the great grandfathers. I've been embracing all of that. And I'm not going to let you, your mammy, your pappy, your dog, your cat, your grandma, your best friend, your auntie, your big toe, your long dick. I'm not going to let none of y'all play in my face. None of y'all. Yeah. So I was reading the comments and um we are not all meant to exist in the same we're not all meant to exist in the same reality. If that was the case, we'd all be billionaires. If that was the case, everyone would be wealthy. If that was the case, we'd all be the same exact color. We'd all be the exact same weight. We'd all be the exact same height. None of us would have any disabilities. None of us would have, we would all speak the same language if we were all meant to be just alike. So when y'all start going off into transracial and y'all start trying to go to a completely, y'all start trying to go to a whole nother extreme to make sense, race does not exist. Race is something that we made up. Just like gender and sex. Well, I'm not going to say sex is made up because you do have genitalia. But the XY chromosome is not even exclusive to beings that were born with penises. Like nothing is exclusive to beings born with penises. Like you typically would say that if someone has the XY chromosome, then they have a penis. But there are beings who are born with vaginas who have the XY chromosome and can produce children. So the XY chromosome is not even exclusive to beings who are born with penises. Not to mention in the womb, we're all XX. So again, the XY chromosome is not even exclusive to beings that were born with penises. So you can talk about transracial and try to use that to make a point, but ain't that literally what Kamala is doing? Kamala is Indian and Irish, and we're saying that she is black. So it's okay to say you're black if you have some melanin. Don't matter what kind it is. But if you got some, it's okay to say you're black. Just like we said Obama was black. Black was a term created to speak to the beings who were the descendants of chattel slavery and also prisoners of war around the time that America came into fruition. Black is a term created to identify beings whose ancestors were the descendants of chattel slavery and made prisoners of war so that America could exist. Meanwhile, we have black people, Black History Month is celebrating Nelson Mandela, who is Zulu or closer. He's either closer or he's Zulu. But that is what he is. He does not identify as black and never has. Zulu or closer. But we celebrate him for Black History Month. Make it make sense. Obama is Kenyan and some kind of white. Black is a term. It is not a generic term, because if it was, when those Africans come over here, they would put black on their ID. They do not put black on those Africans' ID. It only becomes transracial when we're trying to promote Jim Crow and when we're trying to promote just promote this continuous racial divide. But everywhere else, people are not identifying like that. I lived in South Africa for 9 months. My husband didn't call himself black, and he was darker than me. Black is exclusively meant to identify the beings who were prisoners of war and the beings who were a part of chattel slavery. It is not a broad label meant to describe people possessing negritude all around the world. That is not what blackness is. Blackness was a term that was created to identify a specific kind of melanin. And there are transracial beings. If you can have one drop of melanin, if you can have a grandfather who is black, and you can have a mother and a father who is white, and you take after your black grandfather, even though both of your parents are white, sweetheart, you are transracial. Because you damn sure ain't black. You look black, but are you having a black experience if you're being raised by two white parents in a white neighborhood? Race and color are not that easily broken down. If you are a black child and you are extremely light skinned, almost passing, and you grow up in a white neighborhood with a white family and you choose to identify as white, why not? Why would you identify as black when you have not had a black experience, when you are not having a black experience? And that exists. There are beings born every day that are black that can pass for white. There are white people who just meet the cusp. They hair just thick enough to lock up. They got just enough melanin by today's standards, because everybody black today, according to y'all. There are Caucasian people with big lips, wide noses, and hair thick enough to lock up, and just enough melanin to look Dominican. If you are not having a completely white experience, if you're not having a completely Caucasian experience, you're able to access black spaces and you did not have to change anything about yourself to do that. What is that? Are you pretending or are you just being yourself? We not finna act like it's not no Caucasian people that if they was to shave their head, you'll be a little confused. We not finna act like that variable doesn't exist. Everything is not so black and white. Y'all just have been so conditioned talking about this generation is cooked. No, you're the one cooked. It's it's 9 billion variables on the planet, and you trying to make gender and race a monolith as if everything was so black and white. The reason why Kamala is a front runner and she is being prized by the black community, why they've made her a front runner, and why so many parties can see themselves in her is because she is literally transracial. She is literally transracial. She's literally, white people can see themselves in her. Indian people can see themselves in her. Asian people can see themselves in her. And black people can see themselves in her. You can't get more transracial than that. Being trans and being ambiguous, it's the same thing. Her race is non-binary. The lady is non-binary. The lady's race is non-binary. And a lot of y'all, because y'all talking about this generation is cooked. No, y'all the ones that's cooked because you can't understand simple things. You can't understand basic things because you've been so conditioned. You've allowed yourself to become so programmed, so colonized, so brainwashed that you can't see beyond the door is open for you to roam freely, and you will not. You will sit right inside that little box, safe, and try to judge other people from that box in the corner, in the back, behind the bushes in your mind. And if you choose to operate from that space, then go ahead. Do that. If that's what works for you, do that. But stop trying to make everybody else sit there with you. We are free beings. We are sovereign beings. We are autonomous beings. We are soul having a flesh experience. Now you take your AI, artificial intelligence, smart bot ass, and have the mediocre, mundane experience that you want to have. You go right on and be the halfling. You be the very best halfling that you can be. Halfling. Halfling. I'm whole. You're half. I'm whole. You gonna mess around and forget that you have a soul. And those kind make the best puppets. I see your strings. Dance, little puppet boy. Dance, Pinocchio. Dance. I see your strings. Your strings are showing. You're half. I'm whole. You're going to mess around and forget that you have a soul. So go ahead, halfling, and be puppeted. Some people resent you because of their pain, being abused, and wasn't interested in their life. The angels have recorded. I agree with the XY chromosome. Yeah. Yeah. So, and when you learn that the XY chromosome is not even exclusive to beings that were born with penises, like there's nothing sacred to beings that were born with penises. There are beings who are born with vaginas who have baby penises and a vagina. There are beings who are born with vaginas who literally have a ample amount of testosterone in their body, which is why they produce facial hair. Some of them could get muscles. There is nothing that a being that was born with a penis can do that there isn't some variation of that with a vagina that can do the same thing and then carry life on top of it. But again, there are beings in this reality who were born with vaginas, who were born with wombs, who identify with the construct of womanhood, and they blowing smoke up these egotistical, narcissistic, massive body built men, and these men all too eager to prove themselves. They wanna rip and run. They wanna have an excuse so they could be out there having sex with their homeboys, so they could be out there wilding out and doing what they want to do. Not all of them, but some of them. They don't mind being in the streets. They don't mind being out there hustling. Child, they out there having sex with other women, having sex with their homeboy, getting involved in all type of things, honey, giving the givings out there in the streets, honey, and then come home and make sure her bills paid. Make sure that everything is taken care of. She gonna be fine. She ain't gonna ask no questions. Long as when it come time for him to take her to Pound Town and make sure that them bills is paid and make sure that the children is straight. Oh, she ain't worried about what you doing out there in the streets. Long as you ain't brought her home no infection. Yeah, you a king. Yeah, you a god. Best man I ever known in my life. Long as you do all that work I need done. Oh yes, oh yeah. This patriarchy thing is complicated. It's not just black and white. I don't think patriarchy is simply about I don't think patriarchy is simply about men being the stronger sex and men taking power from women. I think that there was some handshaking going on in the background. Just like I feel like there was some handshaking going on with how black people, the descendants of the prisoners of war, the descendants of the American slave trading system, there was some handshaking going on. There was some handshaking, and the hands that were being shook were men who had dark hands and men who had light hands. And the same way patriarchy is maintained, it is men, and there's some women, and there's some trans men, and there's some trans women that's all in on the agreement to help uphold patriarchy. Now, I seriously don't want to believe that non-binary people could consent to patriarchy and that non-binary people want to see patriarchy continue. And I don't know how a lot of non-binary people feel about a matriarchy. But as for me, I'm not here for a matriarchy or a patriarchy. I'm here for something that hybrids them. Hence the name Canine. I want to canine them. I want to. I want a mapa archery. Oh wait, a mapa archery. A mappa archery. Come on, mappa archery. That's Mama Papa Archie. Mappa Archie. Oh, I like that. Dama Archie. Daddy Mama. Dama Archie. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Mada Archie. Okay. Yeah, but anyway, that's all I got for this. I just needed to get that out. I'm trying not to do all that yelling and cursing and taking it to a dark place. But honey, I had some things I had to get off my chest. I feel a lot better having expressed those concerns. Um, but yeah, I had to. I'm removing them out of my life, child. I'ma send them coins. I'ma send them coins. Make no mistake, baby. When the coins come in, baby, they gonna get them coins. And baby, in the notes, it's gonna say, when they say what these coins for, it's gonna be for you to stay out my fucking face. That's right. That's what them coins, that's what it's gonna say in the notes. For me to mind mines and for you to mind yearn. Cause this was the end for me. This was the fact that you could be comfortable with not doing anything does not sit well with me. The fact that you were okay. You supposed to be this leader and you supposed to be this elder, and it didn't. It wasn't laid upon your spirit to paint one picture. Cause goodness knows can't nobody tell you nothing. It wasn't laid upon your spirit from July when you got the money till October to paint a picture about the queer community, about the non-binary. It wasn't laid upon your spirit. It didn't lay upon your spirit to make a couple of TikTok videos. Didn't cross your mind, huh? But that money did though. And you have the audacity to call me greedy. You had the audacity to say that money changes people. Bitch, you would know. Bitch, you would know. You have the audacity to say that money changes people. You have the audacity to say that I never thought you would change up. Girl, you never clocked in. Not one. You never even texted and said, well, I went and got some canvases today. I'm about to go ahead and paint a couple of paintings. I'm gonna go ahead and, get my contributions ready. October, wait, July, August, September, October. I wish a bitch would try to question my integrity. Because if they ask us to sit down and talk about what we've done, I could say bop, 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 bop. You already knew what to do, Miss Elder, Miss Leader. I had already told you what to do. I had already told you what the expectation was. You never did any of that. You didn't do none of that. I guess because you was born with a vagina. And I should be so lucky. My punk faggot ass. I'm a man. Because that's how you really feel. I should be so happy that a real woman. And I don't know why you feel like that, because I have a lot of beings in my life who was born with wombs, who was born with vaginas, who are very respectful to me and very thoughtful to me and very kind to me and very loving towards me, and don't make me feel inferior and don't make me feel less than. So, part of this is my fault because I put you on a pedestal and made you feel like you was really that. I gave you all that life and poured into you, and look what I got back. Child, I hope these coins was worth it. I hope it was worth it, man. I really do. Anyway, let me light my candle. We light this candle to acknowledge the ancestors who are here, the ancestors who have come, and the ancestors who will come. And it's just it's just sad. It's just sad. I had such high hopes. I had such high hopes. I had such high hopes for a long lasting working relationship. And I don't know if in her mind she thought that like my back was against the wall and that she was the only choice I had. And she said in the text message, "You got that much money because it was us." Bitch, I've gotten more money with just my name on a grant. Actually, they gave me less. Because it was a new project with a new person. Wasn't no name they knew. You wasn't familiar, bitch. They didn't know you already. They had no recollection of any of your work prior. So the little coin we did get was because they knew me. Oh, that bitch said, "You got that money." Because both our when that bitch, they didn't even know who you was. And you had the audacity to call me greedy. And I created an opportunity for you and blessed you for nothing. How the fuck you get greedy out of that? This is why there will always be a divide between some of us. See, what it was when you first came back into my life, I was a tee hee. I was a kiki. I was a cackle. I was, oh, look at Antoine trying to be a woman. I was, oh, yeah, I was, oh, look at Antoine. It's so cute. Antoine trying to be a woman. And it was funny, watching me go through my journey, getting my, getting my fake pussy made and thinking I was a real woman, but could never be because I never carried no life inside of me. It was funny. It was a kiki. And then people started taking me seriously. I didn't allow myself to become a token. I continue to build my platform. I continue to revive my platform. I'm honest about my mental health. I'm honest about the drugs that I've done. I'm honest about my finances. I'm honest about my HIV status. You've even made, you've even said disparaging things about people with HIV. And I overlooked that. Oh, so and so sick. So and so got that. So and so got that. You the only one that I ever seen that don't have skin. Your skin don't look like their skin. See, when you said stuff like that, I should have known it was sus. You done a lot of sus things. But no, not me. Trying to give my mother the benefit of the doubt. You talk about people who got HIV. You still use man and punk. You still talk like that. That's a man. It's a punk. You still talk like that. But you still say bull daggers too, so I don't get mad at you for the punks and the mans. I try to give you grace. And you give me your ass to kiss. Cause again, I am the joke. I'm the comic relief. I could never be you. You're a real woman. I should be honored that you even answer your phone for me. And this the gag. When she first came back into my life, I was shady with her. I didn't want to be close with her. And now I understand why. That was my soul trying to protect me. I don't regret this experience. I needed to go through it. But from the beginning, I've always known that this was a person that you was only meant to go so far with. And I was trying to convince myself of otherwise. But from the beginning, I've known, and they're still the same person, no matter all the new stuff they learn, all the deep spiritual stuff they be saying, all of that, child, they go in one ear and out the other. It's a moment, like it's learning and it's getting this information so you can show everybody how smart you is, but you don't put none of it into practice because you're still the same person. Now you use the stuff that help you to look good. You use the remedies and the secrets that's going to help you to age well and help you to look good. But anything that's going to help you to communicate in a way that's more thoughtful of other people, that's respectful to people, oh no, you're not doing all that. You say grand rising because you want grand rising said to you. That's how you want people to speak to you. But if it's not edifying you in any way, if it can't be turned directly back to you in some way, you really could care less. And that's what I've learned with you via this experience. Those resources that you're getting, just like those resources you got the last time, they took from a lot of people in my community. They took from people who benefit from when I have those resources. Just like this time, that's taking away from people who are literally homeless, who I help. People who are literally navigating living below the poverty line in controlled housing that I help. People in my community that I help. And those funds could have been used to do an actual event. And it could have paid some artist. But because you selfishly said you won't have because your name is on there and you're doing all of this, I can only equate this to you being cisgender. Cause a real trans person, a real non-binary person would not be this selfish. So I'm mad at myself because I believed you when you rant that I'm whole, I'm non-binary. When you started talking the language and you started embracing both sides of yourself. But no, you a cis woman. You're a cis woman who likes to take testosterone. Period. And now we're moving right along. You're a cis woman that likes to play around with testosterone. That's what it is. That's what it is. You're a lesbian cis woman that likes to take testosterone because you do not have loyalty to the community. You're only loyal to you. So anyway, that's I might have to rant one more time. The grace that I'm gonna do is I'm not saying names. That's the grace I got. I don't know if it's all out of me yet. I don't know if it's all out of me yet. I don't know. I can't promise you. I can't call it. I can't call it right now. I can't call it. Whew. I'm doing all right, Mirko. Anyway, as I blow out this candle on the physical plane, it grows with intensity, preparing us for times that are now. Every time I think about that shit, I get mad all over again. Every time I think about it, I get mad all over again. You try not to stand over people. You try to show people good faith. I send you half of the coins in good faith. I don't stand over you. I give you your own creative process and think, okay, 4 months go by, you'll produce something on your own. Now we get ready to get the coins again, girl, and you still ain't transmute the energy. Shake it off. Child, I might need to do me a little wobble. Child, I might need to throw it in a circle, girl, to get this off of me, girl. I might need to throw it in a circle to get this spirit off of me, girl. Ooh. Girl, let me see how much bars I got, girl. I ain't got but 9%, girl. I ain't got time to throw it in a circle, girl. I ain't got time to throw it in a circle on this live, girl. But I love y'all and thank y'all for clicking like because I wasn't even really asking for likes, in this video because I was kind of, mad. But now that I remember, thank you everybody who have clicked like already, because I wasn't even asking for it this video. Y'all just kind of like been doing it on your own, so I appreciate that. But be sure to click like. If you have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Sometimes. Yeah, yeah, chill. But I thank you, Enoch. Yeah, I am gonna let it go today. Yeah, I think edibles are better for you. I think you shouldn't burn things inside of your lung. That's why I try not to smoke as much. I think edibles are better for you. I would prefer making my own edibles and not trusting the edibles from the store. Cause sometimes you get an edible and you don't be high, you just be hungry, and so you just eating the edible, then you eating again, and it's just like, I don't want to be high and eating, and I'm trying not to eat. Like I don't need to just eat. Like I want to be high. Like that's why I smoke because I want to be high. So like edibles are, hash oil is nice, but it's hard to find. It's hard to find. I think you need a hug and the line, you are perfect the way you are. Oh, thank you. I would, of course I'm gonna choose gummies. You know, I just love gummies, period. But yeah, I'm gonna get ready to get off this live and go and take care of myself and let this phone charge. But yeah, this was a difficult video because like I really was let down. Like I really was let down. Like this was my shero. Like this was somebody that I looked up to, and I really just believed them to be so special, and I was just let down by them. And so I'm gonna try not to let this affect my relationships. You know, I'm gonna try not to let this affect my relationships with cis women, with black cis women. I'm gonna try not to let this affect my relationships. I'm gonna try real hard not to take this personal. Hey, 100% pure love. I'm gonna try real hard not to take this personal. But this was a nasty. This lesson cost thousands of dollars, thousands. You know, and just it's crazy how the ancestors, you know, how the ancestors do stuff. Cause I'm not gonna lie, I have known that we were on flaky ground for a while. I have felt it. I have felt myself outgrowing this person. And that was the point of the grant. The point of proposing this and saying to do this was supposed to be a way for us to overcome and fix, because I felt it. We got into a big argument last year while I was at a retreat. And I mean, we got into a big argument. I was at a retreat, and I never forget. Like we were going at it, like we was hollering at each other over the phone. And at some point during it, we calmed down after a few months of that. But it was a lot of things said, and you know, I had started having different relationships with other beings, you know, that were born with wombs and identified with womanhood. I started having different relationships with them. So I am growing. I am expanding as a person because I am developing more quality relationships with beings who are born with wombs. Now, I'm not going to lie. Some beings who are born with wombs and identify with womanhood, they be playing in my face. Like I said, some of them, they got a chip over their shoulder. They bitter because of patriarchy and because all of the things that they internalize, and they just want to punish everybody who got a penis, and they just want to reduce everybody that they can. It's a pecking order. It's a pecking order. If the man gonna rule over me, then I'm gonna rule over you. But you're gonna have to miss me with that one. I'm sorry. So we had a big old argument last year. So the whole point of me creating this opportunity for us to collaborate was for us to present a front, for us to present a united front, and for us to do the work of healing, and for this to become something different. And it's still the same shade. It's still the same shadiness. We got into an argument 2 weeks ago because you messaged me and you said something that was insensitive about Janet Jackson. And when you said what you said about Janet Jackson, um, you made this comparison of was somehow you was calling her a TS, like calling her a trans person, and And you and this person know I'm triggered about things like that. I'm triggered when you call Michelle Obama a man, even though you know a lot of things have been pointing to the fact that this woman might be trans. But I'm still upset because you always call her a man. Like you don't even give her the respect of being a trans woman. You just be like that's a man and calling her Michael. And so then when you started making like TS jokes about Janet Jackson, that stuff triggered me because it just feels reductive. It feels reductive, and I get upset with beings who are born with wombs who identify with as a woman, and they think that type of behavior, that type of reductive behavior, cracking jokes and trying to reduce women by calling them a man or calling them trans. I don't have respect for that, and it's self-hate. Expensive lesson learned. You right. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time. I try not to live like that 100%. Like I want people to show me grace because you might catch me at a bad time. I want grace because you might catch me at a bad time. You might get something that wasn't even for you. I might be mad at somebody else and I might, mess over you because I'm hurting over somebody else. So I really, try to give people the benefit of the doubt and I try to give them grace. I try to give them grace. I try so hard. And in the thing that upsets me the most, that in her mind she actually feels justified by taking from the community when she knows that I live below the poverty line. And yet I'm still out here doing this missionary ambassador work. I don't be jumping in everybody inbox. It's a few people that I may inbox here and there and be like, I gotta give a shout out to one of my sisters who live in California. I ain't gonna say her name because she's stealth. But she a sex change like me. Every time I hit her up, she always bless me. And the reason why she blessed me is because she has benefited from my message and the things that I say online. She has benefited. She don't come in the comment section and click like. She don't do all that. But if I say, sister, I'm in need. Can you help me? My sister gonna cash app them funds immediately, and she have done it consistently, and she's a young girl who grew up on my videos, and that's the type of respect that I'm talking about. People who listen to me talk and people know that they've benefited from what I've said, and when I need you I could depend on you. I don't ask for much. I don't be on here begging like that. And when I have, I bless the people that are around me. I try to bring the people that are around me up with me. I don't hog resources. That's not my spirit. The ancestors do send us cues, but we don't always listen. I feel attacked. You're certainly growing. I see it. Thank you. Thank you, Enoch. It is self hate when they act that way. Ain't no grace for certain behavior, especially at a certain age. Now that's some facts. Thank you. I try so hard to be gracious. I try so hard. Treacherous, devilish people with no morals don't respect boundaries or empathy. Your spirit is generous. Thank you. And I'm not gonna let this deter me. I'm just going to be better. at selecting people, because I'm not gonna get less grant opportunities. I've just gotten offered a new opportunity for more resources. Imagine that. I'm not getting less grant opportunities. I'm not getting I'm not getting I'm not getting less opportunities. I am definitely getting more opportunities. Swiftly. It was so swift. 100% pure love, don't play. But I'm getting more opportunities. Like more people are seeing me and recognizing my work. Like this same day, I'm arguing with her. I got two people in my inbox booking me to speak, to host Zoom calls. Like I'm getting booked to speak and getting paid, getting what they call that, getting an honorarium. Yeah, the same day me and you arguing, people booking me. I'm in a meeting talking about more grants, more opportunities. So you're not stopping anything. You just won't be a part of it. Cause you got greedy. Cause you got greedy. That's all that happened. You could have been sitting pretty. You could have, me and you could have collaborated. You could have did a few art pieces, came and did a couple of art shows, and I would have always looked out for you. But that's not what's going to happen now. That's not how this is gonna go now. Now you will be stricken from the books. I'm going to give you credit for what you contributed to my life. I'm never gonna take that from you. But moving forward, you will not be held up like you one of the archangels or like you one of the saints. Like you a saint of Laylim Layler. Like you're the grandmother. Or like you're the you won't be on that pedestal. And you did that to yourself. You talking about my greed? No, it was your greed because you know this is work I take seriously. You know I live this and you know I need resources for the work that I'm doing. And you said, fuck that. So F you. And that's what we gonna do with that. You might scam a million and end up with $1 million worth of diseases. People who grift and scam don't know about ill-gotten gains. And see, this is the thing. In her mind, it's not that. In her mind, it's not that. Like, I told her, I said, you don't have to worry about like the interactions with the people. Like you don't have to talk to them. I'm handling the writing part. I'm handling making sure that all of the documents that need to be signed, everything that need to, I'm doing all of that. But there is a creative process that you need to help out with. And you didn't even need to come to me physically. Like you could have started working on creative projects from your home. They're an amazing artist. They're a super talented artist. You could have You could have spent those funds on what you wanted to spend them on. And then as you got your own money, as you got a few dollars of your own money, as you got paid, and when you got your paycheck, or when your wife got her paycheck, you could have said, okay, well, let me go. I had that money. I already got them coins. Let me go ahead out and get some canvases. Let me go ahead out and get some art supplies and do my big one to show my family that, you know, they was right to believe in me. They was right to do this venture. They was right for us to collaborate. Let me go ahead and do my big one. Let me go ahead and show out for the gram. Let me show out for TikTok. Let me show out for YouTube. Let me put on for the LGBT community. Let me put on for the non-binary community. Let me show them what I'm working with. Let me show them what I'm capable of. This would have been an amazing opportunity for you to do that. When I said you didn't have to do nothing, I didn't mean you shouldn't even attempt to try to create something. I mean, why wouldn't you? You had all the incentive you could ever need. Why wouldn't you? That's giving grifter, that's giving grifter tease. Make no sense. Thank you. It didn't make no sense. It didn't make no sense. It don't make no sense. And then the thing that pisses me off even further is to try to paint me as the spirit that's changing over money, to try to paint me as the person who's changing over money because I want to allow you to take advantage of my kindness. To try to paint me as the one who around here scamming and around here pulling a con when I literally live this shit and people see it. You don't think that the people who are giving us the funding don't know about my platform? I have almost 4,000 subscribers. I get a nice little corner of the community. And a huge portion of my audience is trans. You don't think the funder knows about my platform? This is work. This live right here is work. This is billable hours right now. Because I'm talking about issues that impact the underserved, the overlooked, the disenfranchised, the queer, the black, the ones who live below the poverty line. All of that. I'm talking about that. These is billable hours. And I do this for free 99. And I tried to put you on and you feel like somebody taking advantage of you because I'm not going to give you, because I didn't want to give you half of something you did nothing for. And then in good grace, I gave you half in the beginning, and it's 4 months later, and you haven't painted one picture. You ain't even text me to say, hey, I went and got some canvases. You ain't even did that. You've been dodging me, not wanting to talk to me because you mad at me. Because when you called Janet Jackson, you said something about Janet Jackson's face was corroding. Then you came back and said some TS foolishness, and I got mad at you, and I offered you some pushback, and I told you I don't like when you crack jokes like that. And so you haven't even wanted to answer my phone calls because I've been calling you every day for the past 4 or 5 days. But as soon as you got that email that that money was coming, you forwarded that email to let me know that you know that that money on the way. See, what you thought was you thought I wasn't gonna want to get on live. You thought I wouldn't want to publicly talk about this. Because you think I'm worried about it jeopardizing my chance at funds, because you think that I am that greedy, that you think I'm you. You think I'm you. At this point, I wouldn't care if either one of us got it. The only reason why I'm not going the other way with this is because I know that will hurt members in community. There's members in community that could benefit from this opportunity. There's members in community that I will be able to help and that I will be able to provide opportunities for through this funding. But don't ever think that I'm gonna be afraid to get on live and be transparent. Cause baby, you could scroll through my Cash App and my PayPal. You could scroll through it, boo. Scroll at what year you want to look at. Me and you not the same. You could scroll through my Cash App and you could scroll through my PayPal and you could see the type of person I am with money. And you could see that I'm not greedy and you could see that I'm not selfish. You could see that I'm not around here hoarding resources. You could never try to paint the picture of yourself and put that on me. Because it really speaks to your character and how you is with money and how you act behind money. That's what this really revealed. I simply messaged, I messaged her and I told her when she said that the money was coming, I messaged her and I said, hey, I said, Grand Rising, I said, when this money comes in, we need to discuss dividing it differently since I'm doing all the work. That creates an opportunity for me to pay some other people. So we need to renegotiate the terms because, sweetheart, you ain't done nothing. You would have thought, oh, I mean, to me, that's really some Negro feces because you you literally giving me the vibes that you don't want to work with me. Like you really showing me, like you dodging phone calls. You respond with dry text. You know, you really done had you low key done had enough too. You good too, and that's fine. I'm good. I've been good. Like I said, when you came into my life, I was leery then. Now I know why. But but when that happened, like I said, barely been able to get you on the phone. When the coins came in, I said, "Hey, let's renegotiate." You sent me this long ass letter talking about no, I take my half shares, take my equals portions. sounded like sounded like one of my niggas. I just want my equals portion. I was reading the message. I was like, "What in the what in mammy going on, baby?" I've been calling you. I don't know. I should call you mammy. I want my equal portions. Mammy said, "I want my equals portions." I know that's right. Bitch. Girl, I'm just done. Like I know I was supposed to end this live 40 minutes ago. I had to lit the candle, put the candle back out. It's gonna take me a minute. This gonna take me a minute. This gonna take me a minute. this gonna take me a minute. Yusuf, I am nothing like Jaguar Wright. Jaguar Wright, like, we know that you're a knockoff of nobody. You're a ghost. So why don't you scurry back off into the contentless shadows from which you immersed? Scurry now. Scurry. Scurry. Scurry now. Scurry back off into the contentless shadows. Because I'm sure if I go to your page, I will find no content. Scurry back off into the contentless shadows from whence you immersed. Don't get everything you want, but I hope you're okay. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, chill. I'm just, it always be the ghost. Always be the ghost that won't come on your live. Like, you literally, you have no content. I can't go on your page and find boo. But you have so much to say about me. You have so much, such a big opinion of me. So much to say about me. That's a man. What's wrong with your teeth? You a boy or a girl? Girl, it's 2024 and you bitches is still trying to put holes in a box. Scat now. Scurry off. Scurry now. I had to hit somebody with that last week. Oh, that wasn't the first time I had to give somebody that bar. Oh, they gets that bar. Scurry now. Scurry scat. Mm. Beat it. Scram. But hell, I'm definitely gonna move different next year. The next time I get this opportunity to write a grant, I already know who I want to work with. I'm gonna work with the person that I should have worked with in the beginning. And I'm gonna be doing some work in Bogalusa, Louisiana. And we're gonna get something done. And it's gonna be nice and it's gonna be beautiful. And the beautiful thing about this is I can work with my elders. Like right now, I've been staying with one of my elders for like a week. Thank you, God Goddess. Um, and we are both able to be heard. And she is not a follower. She is not weak. She's very strong willed, have her own mind, and I respect her. But I also get to say how I feel to her, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that she doesn't silence me or that she doesn't gaslight me and doesn't try to hear me. And that's what I've been experiencing with the being that was born with the womb that identifies a woman. Gaslighting me and making me feel like what I'm saying doesn't have the right to be heard and it's not relevant. And unfortunately, I have difficult relationships with trans women, but what I'm learning and what I'm seeing as time goes on, the older ones, the older trans women, they really starting to respect me. They really starting to get me and they really starting to show up for me. They really, really, and I think it's just being able to meet them where they at because some of my sisters is Christian and that's not gonna change. They gonna worship Jesus and read the Bible until they leave this earth. And it's just learning how to meet them where they at. You pray to Jesus, that's how you want to talk. Okay, well, as long as you can respect how I'm gonna talk and you can respect the fact that I'm not gonna be saying Jesus, I'm not gonna be quoting scripture, I'm not gonna be talking like you talk, I'm gonna talk in my own way. Long as you can respect that, we good. We good. So I could say a lot of my older sisters have been showing up for me, and I did. I do have other queer, non-binary beings in my life who were born with wombs. You know what I'm saying? And so I do know that collaborations will still happen. Um, I wish that we had been close as we were this year. I wish we would have had this relationship last year because I would have worked with them on this project, and I know that they wouldn't have done that. They literally helped me write a grant this year, and they helped me put together a grant, and they wanted me to have all the money. They were working to put together a grant for me to get all the money. They said, no, this work that you're doing is valuable and we want to help you. So I'm not going to say all beings that were born with wombs are shady, because they're not. Because I have them in my life who have literally written grants for me, helped me write grants, have showed up for me and done that for me. And they was like, no, I don't need none of this. You need this for what you're doing. You're trying to rebuild your grandmother's home. You're trying to rebuild your ancestral indigenous home. You're trying to create a safe space for the community. You're around here advocating for the community. You're around here advocating for people who are living with HIV. You're around here advocating for people who are living with who navigate mental illness. You're around here advocating for people who feel left out of politics, who feel unheard in politics. Like literally, yeah. And that's just a few of the things that I advocate for. That's just a few of the things that I show up for, and I create safe healing spaces for us to work through that. And so they was trying to help me get some money. I call myself, I've known you for 30 years. We've been back in each other's life for about 10 years. I never would have thought that you would be greedy like that. That you would feel that's some Bogalusa shit. It goes to show you could leave that small town. Then you try to turn it around and make it look like it was me. Like you had wrote the grant, like you had did all the leg work, and I was coming to you saying, hey, nah, we agreed on half. I could understand if it was like that. You literally have had to do nothing but send me a picture, send me 2 pictures, and give me your email. This definitely giving pimp move. Like you definitely acting like a pimp. This definitely some pimp stuff. Better have my money. That's definitely a pimp move. Definitely some pimp tease. But you live and learn. Bitch, this was an expensive lesson. I'm like, damn, I know the ancestors about to bless me next year. I know the ancestors is about, I know next year about to be the, I know next year about, baby. Cause when I tell you I have been through, I've had to take space from somebody who's been in my life for a long time. This not the first person who I've taken space from, who I'm super, super close with. So I lost my husband and my ex-husband. Um, I lost one in January of last year. Then I lost my ex husband in December before that. Then coming into this year, I done separated from somebody extremely close to me. I done figured out that I'm not about to go back to Africa no time soon because they was over there playing in my face. I almost had to block one of the people that I send money to in Africa because I sent her money. Like, I'm literally sending money to people in Africa. I sent money to Africa July. I sent money to Africa August. I sent money to Africa September. I sent money to Africa October. I had to tell her when I sent money this month, I said, look, I'm on a fixed income. I said, if you ask me for some money this month, I'm gonna have to block you. Cause you're not respecting the fact that I have to be in people's inbox asking people for money. I have to be begging because I'm giving my money. You know, and don't get me wrong, I don't feel bad about helping her because she just had a baby over there and they experienced a different kind of poverty than we experience in America. But I have people in America who ask me for money and who ask me to help them. I have people in Africa who are asking me for money and asking me to help them. And I'm a good person and I try my best to help people. But then the people that I love and I trust and I try to bring up, for you to play in my face like that. I'm not around here complaining because I don't have a lot of money. I'm not around here. I don't get on here and whine no more because I don't get supported. I take my lick. It is what it is. I made my choice. I'm anti-establishment. I'm anti-politics. I'm anti a lot of things. And when you anti a lot of things, you have to understand motherfuckers ain't gonna be greasing your palm like that. Everybody's not gonna see it for you. I understand that. I accept responsibility for that. But when I have people in my life knowing my stance, knowing the things that I stand on, and when I have funding sources that are willing to support me and that are willing to sow into me, knowing how controversial my work is, knowing how hard it is for me to get funding in this work, and then I have people around me who want to suck the resources out of what little resources I have to try to create this shift. Any resources I get are vital. And I don't care if it's for me to go and have a relaxing day and to take care of me. I don't care what the resources is for, because all of it is a part of me. If I don't take care of me, then the work can't continue. At least not this work I'm doing. So some days the work may look like me having a couple of cocktails. The work may look like me smoking a couple of blunts. Because I got to take care of me so that I can keep doing this work. The work may look like me going to the beach. It might look like me going for a swim at the country club. All that's a part of it. Quality of life. Self-care. These things are important if I'm going to continue this work and be vigilant and vibrant. Yeah. I need to be supported. I need to feel supported. But I don't even abuse those things. I can't tell you when the last time I've been out to a club. Can't tell you the last time I just went out just to go party. Can't tell you. Now, have I went and got a bottle for me and my sisters to split so we could sit up and laugh and kiki and ha ha and socialize? Yep. Have I taken some funds and taken all my sisters out to eat? Yes, multiple times. Have I planned a trip where we went somewhere, we went on an outing, and I paid for it? Yeah. But honey, I'ma let you know something. Face has been played in, and I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. I'm claiming it. Yes, it is. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be better next year. 100% pure love. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be awesome, honey. Next year, it's gonna be, baby. It's gonna be more than my hands can hold, honey. It's gonna be more than my hands can hold next year, baby. It's gonna be pressed down, shaken together, and running over, honey. Period. But anyway, I'm finna go ahead and get off this live. Give me some purple hearts in the chat, y'all. Um, yeah, give me some purple hearts in the chat. Be a little selfish this season. Amen. They want me. Give me some purple hearts in the chat. And this candle is lit in honor of our ancestors who are here, the ones who are coming, and the ones who will come. Down but now that I say cool, it keeps spinning and turning. Ian Gani, Iyanko Kalukalo, which means I am a child of God Goddess. And if I am, you know you are. Remember to light your candle and know that as it grows with purpose and intensity on the spiritual plane, preparing us for times that are now. Ian Gandhi, Iyanko Kalukalo, which means I am a child of God Goddess, and if I am, you know you are. Have a beautiful evening, and I love y'all, and thank y'all for listening to be just Vince. It's we'll get back to our spiritual. Not to say this wasn't spiritual, but we'll get back to our high level deeply melanated queer conversations at some point during the week. I can't promise you it's gonna be tomorrow or Friday. I'm probably gonna need until Sunday to stew. I'm probably gonna need till Sunday. Give me the Sunday to process it out, and then I'll probably be, back on the good whole one rise journey. But for right now, tomorrow there might be a rant. Saturday there could be a rant. But on Saturday, I might not do any lives. But tomorrow very well could be another rant. Um, and then by Sunday, we'll get it together. So I love y'all. Talk to you later.